How's it going, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to episode 27 of Top Replays and Highlights. And as you can see, I finally changed my EDOpro background. I know, round of applause for me. We've got Avermax, we've got Chambra, and Double-Headed Anger Knuckle representing the decks that I like to play the most at the moment. Mech Knights, Speedroids, and Trains alike. And that's kind of the reason why you guys have been seeing a lot of the same decks popping up in these past few episodes of Top Replays and Highlights. So I do apologize a little bit if it's been a little repetitive, but I just can't help myself. I just love playing these decks. They've just been so much fun to play. And if you guys want to see me play these decks live, that's where obviously a lot of these replays are from as well. Link to my Twitch channel down below. I stream every Sunday and Monday, so if you want to see it all happen live, feel free to stop by for a live stream if you haven't done so at this point. But we got some trains, we got some Mech Knights, we got some Speedroids, so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this one. But before we get into it, I do want to mention some big news. I think I might have already uploaded a video for it at this point. I am recording this in a day or two in advance, so I'm not sure what the uploads are looking like as I'm making this, but we'll go ahead and roll the news now if you haven't seen or heard about it yet. I am so excited to announce the official release of the Winter Kills Imperium Duelist playmat, featuring a stunning crossover between Burning Abyss and Ice Barriers, making for a beautiful fire and ice theme. Incredible artwork from Frankie Art brings this playmat to life. It will be printed as a 2-player cloth playmat on high quality material that you've come to know and expect from Imperium Duelist. It will be available for purchase today at 9 p.m. Eastern. So set your reminders now and don't forget to use my discount code WINNERKILLS10OFF to save 10% off on your entire order. So yeah, as you guys can see, we have our very own playmat launching through Imperium Duelist. I've known about this since October, and I've had to keep it on the down low for such a long time, so it feels amazing to be able to finally share this news with you guys. And I might be a little biased, but I think it's probably the best playmat they're going to be releasing, and I'm so happy for it to be associated with this channel. It's been amazing enough working with Imperium over the past few years, but to finally have my own playmat through them, it's just a dream come true. And the artist absolutely knocked it out of the park. If you guys saw my original sketch of it, my rough draft that I showed on stream a few weeks back, you'll see it has come a long way. And the artist, they just absolutely blew it away. So really excited about it. Decided to go with the Ice Barrier Burning Abyss crossover. A little fire and ice theme. Wanted some winter themes on there, obviously, for the channel's sake. So go check it out. If you can pick it up, that's amazing. If not, don't worry about it. I appreciate all the support regardless. So yeah, super excited to show you guys that. I've been sitting on it for a few weeks, few months actually, so it feels great to get it out in the open. And of course, I also want to mention, if you guys are doing any shopping on drawface.com or TCG Player, don't forget to use the affiliate links I have to their sites down in the description below, because if you guys shop and check out using those links, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back in the channel, and it helps out quite a bit. Also, consider becoming a member of the channel today by clicking that blue join button. But let's get into our first replay here. It's called 50 life points off, and I mean, it obviously has that name for a very obvious reason. We're playing against Kaiser Arrows here, someone you guys might be familiar with in this series at this point. I play against him a lot on stream. Huge fan of the Cyber ABC strategy, and he definitely opened the stones here, taking advantage of Hanger and Union Driver. I'm surprised I don't see this deck more. Yes, it's not perfect, but overall, still seems like a very consistent strategy, and now especially with Buster Dragon at 3, it seems to only get a little better. And not to mention, Union Carrier is very, very good in here. Being able to equip Photon Orbital from deck to search Galaxy Soldier. We know how good that is in the Cyber Dragon strategy, and also the synergy it has by being able to dump your ABC pieces to the graveyard if they find their way to your hand at some point, which is something that can very easily happen. So you're going to see him go into Infinity, slurp up that hers, and not make just one buster, but to turbo out 2, which is absolutely just, it's absurd at this point. So, and one thing you want to notice here too is, you know, he only has 1 card in hand. You're probably wondering, how is he going to get 2 discards for both of these busters? Well, when he goes ahead and eventually uses his negate, or when he plans to anyways, the theory behind it is if he detaches this Cyber Dragon, hers, he'll be able to add a Cyber Dragon from his deck or graveyard to his hand. So if he uses the first buster to pitch the Cyber Dragon in his hand to banish something, then negates with the Infinity, you know, he basically can just protect that buster with the Infinity, detach the hers in the process, and then hers can just recycle that Cyber Dragon right back to the hand and immediately fuel the discard requirement for his other Buster Dragon. But luckily for us, we're playing Speedroids. We did draw the Drippy Droppy. Not only did we draw 1, but we draw 2 to match his double buster. So it is kind of perfectly balanced here, as all things should be. And we do have to fire off Win with the Car Turbo to go for none other than Terror Top. And you can see at this point, we've sacrificed our entire hand just to make sure we can get to Terror Top and make sure it resolves 100%. So there's Terror Top. He's going to go ahead and add Marble Machine from deck to hand. We're going to go for Tekatomborg. That's going to tag out for Dendendaiko Duke. We're going to synchro into Hagoita, use Duke to bring back Car. Go for Leviair. Leviair is going to detach to bring back the Duke, recycling it in the process. Now, it was titled 50 life points off for a reason, because I spent a good 5 minutes or so on stream calculating if I would have synchroed for Battle Wasp, Hama the Conquering Bow, you know, and used Car Turbo Engrave to boost all wind monsters I control by 800 attack each, I would have had a double attacking 3600 Hama and a 2600 Leviair. Not to mention, when Hama comes out, he could swing over this Union Carrier for 2600. Hama's other effect would kick in, that basically states, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 1000 attack and defense. So that would drop these already low busters down to 500 and this Infinity down to 350, which still, unfortunately, just wasn't enough for game. It ended up being 50 life points off, at least 3 different ways that I could calculate it, maybe attacking this first, then this, and just so many different lines, or attacking over this first and then hitting over this for 36. Like, there was just no way that I could calculate it, at least that I could find in the heat of the moment. So we went for the next best move, which is to go for Kite Drake as the plan B and just wipe everything else on the field and swing in for 3k and pass it over to him. Now he draws Ghost Ogre for turn. You hate to see it. He's got Cyber Dragon in hand, so we can summon that to the field and Contact Fuse for Fortress Dragon, but of course that will trigger the effect of Kite Drake in the grave, and that can allow us to go get double Yo-Yo to pretty much repeat that entire process once more. So yeah, even with the Ghost Ogre on the Yo-Yo, won't make too big of a difference anyways. And yeah, that was pretty close OTK right there. And that's why I love Speedroids so much, because they can OTK so quickly, or they could just completely Thanos snap the entire field. Really, really love it. This next replay here is also against the ABC strategy. I think this might have been game 2 or 3, or just a different match, because last stream that I did, we actually played a couple matches against each other because we were having a little bit of a grudge match. And as you can see, we've got some side decked cards in here, mainly Artifact Lancia. To name one of them, Droll Bird, also pretty good against this strategy because, as you can see, quite a bit of searching done here through Cyber Emergency, Cyber Dragon Core, the Galaxy Soldier, not to mention even Photon Orbital as well. So Droll Bird, very, very good card here. So he's going to end with Infinity, but it, of course, is backed up with Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre. Not to mention, Al Mirage is low-key going to put in some work here, too, to basically protect Infinity from destruction by card effects. So we pick up Terror Top for turn. Blessed Terror Top here. We're going to start, though, with the very simple play. Normal or special the Primitive Butterfly, which doesn't activate, is just an inherent summon. So Infinity will not get a word in edgewise. And we'll be able to normal summon the Duke here just to go for Kite Drake. Now, I didn't want to go for the Field Wipe effect because that would proc Almirage to be able to protect Infinity. So what I wanted to do instead was use the basically the blanket negate that Kite Drake offers. The effect that I don't use as much that I probably should, honestly, because the fact that you can just blanket negate their entire field sometimes is actually a bit better than just wiping it completely. But you see, I use the to negate, and he goes in chains and destroys, and then I go to search, and then there goes Ash Blossom baiting the Ash on the Kite Drake. He actually Ghost Ogres the Terror Top, but it's fine. We don't really need that body on board. As you can see, we have two absolutely bonkers, every meaning of the word bonkers extenders in our hand. E-Telly and Speed Recovery, but what's this? The blunder of the century, the absolute blunder of the century. You hate it. You hate to see it. And I just had to go plan B, E-Telly out for the Virtual World Humane Nyan Nyan. Go ahead and recovery for Duke. And then I think, yeah, we go into the Rubber Band Shooter. And at this point, I'm like, if he's got, you know, another hand trap here, then he's just got it. He's too good for me at this point. The double yo-yo doesn't play out in our favor here. The Rubber Band Shooter doesn't play out in our favor here. As you can see, double yo-yo goes to the graveyard after we banish the Wind Pegasus. So go for Tekatomborg, use Nyan Nyan Engrave to bring itself back. Go for Charge Warrior, see if we can draw the stones. Nyan Nyan's going to recycle Pegasus. And we draw Den Den Daiko Duke, which is a pretty solid draw to get here since it's going to allow us to synchro into Shen Shen. Not only that, but since we are sided here in this game, Artifact Lancey is in the grave. That will provide us, you know, another typing in the graveyard to be able to summon this card back, because it says during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish 2 other monsters from your graveyard with a different original type and attribute from each other. Special summon this card from your graveyard. So really good to have that in there. And we're just going to go battle phase. We're going to recycle Nyan Nyan back to the grave and you know, put all of that stuff into his graveyard in the battle phase. And as you can see, getting that Nyan Nyan recycled is pretty huge. So doing a lot of recycling here, doing a lot of removal, and having a Macrocosmos on our field is all right. We'll see how good it's going to be. He's going to normal summon Cyber Dragon Core. That's going to search Emergency. Emergency is going to go grab Noxer. Noxer's going to discard the Bee-Buster Drake. Now, normally here, you would be reviving Cyber Dragon Infinity with Noxer, but it was banished because of Shen Shen, so he will not have access to it. Instead, he's going to bring back the Cyber Dragon Nova and use the effect of Noxer here to boost it up and go ahead and contact Fuse in main phase 2 for Fortress. Go for Union Carrier. Luckily, he can't Buster Lock anymore. Driver's going to go get Sea Crush Wyvern. That's going to get summoned to the field, triggering Union Carrier or Union Hanger, and get himself the Buster Dragon on field. We top deck a Lancia, so we're looking pretty good. Best thing we have going for us here is the fact that he does not have any cards in hand. If he's watching this, he might be able to tell you guys where he messed up. I can't remember exactly if there was one point in the play here that resulted him in not having a discard for this specific play. I can't remember. I'm sure he'll be happy to tell you guys in the comments, but we go ahead and, you know, follow up with Terror Top off of the recovery. Chain Block with Nyan Nyan, which is out on the field as a tuner. We're going to go ahead and grab Card Turbo since I believe we're out of Tox at this point. Go right up into Crystal Wing. Nyan Nyan's going to recycle back Speed Recovery back to the deck. Duke for Car, bring out Levier. Levier's going to summon out Duke, and with that, we're going to be able to bring out Hagoita via its own effect, and he's just going to go ahead and scoop it up right then and there. So it was a very good game, if you ask me. So this next replay here is called Train Grind vs. Thunder Ugly Game, and this one was back in November, so I don't recall the details too well, but I do remember making some blunders definitely in this game. But we're gonna get started with Harvester. Now, technically, if EDOpro operated under TCG rulings, we would be able to chain block the Harvester with Derricrane, but it is under OCG rulings, so we don't get to do that here, unfortunately. But either way, he's going to shotgun the D-shifter, so it doesn't matter so much. We still get the Derek Crane out on the board. Search Brutal Dozer. And I think I make a little bit of a mistake here. I forget momentarily, I guess. I must have gotten distracted by chat or something. I'll just blame chat. That's my excuse. I actually used Drag Shovel to tribute off Tunneler. I'm not sure why I did that. I thought I would be able to get to spin turn still, but I was wrong. So I'm just going to go into River Stormer to recover, search Bullet Train, summon that to the field, and make number 81 and pass, sitting on a pretty good field. Now, I do make, again, kind of another blunder here. Should have maybe let him commit to the field before I shotgunned this Lancia off because, you know, hindsight's 2020. I played right into the Gamma while he's got nothing on his field yet. And that's going to net him a free level 8 synchro known as the Chaotic Demonic or the Chaotic Magical Dragon. That's going to go ahead and mill 5, but it's actually going to go ahead and banish 5. And then he's going to follow up with a Loof Lupine, banish the Orb and Dark. He's going to search Roar, pitch Roar, add back Fusion, summon out Dragon Lord, and go ahead and activate Thunder Dragon Fusion for Titan. And just link all of that into a Boral Sword. Because I guess that feels like an even trade. And he's just going to be able to get over the Super Dora there, and that's really going to do it. Now, pretty cool play is going to happen here. So I've got Urgent Schedule, and I'm wondering, you know, how can I make this Urgent Schedule live? Well, we're going to use the River Stormer here, detaching the Drag Shovel. We're going to search Dozer. We're going to use Dozer, tributing off the River Stormer as cost, and that gives us the opportunity to activate Urgent Schedule because our opponent now controls more monsters than we do. So pretty sneaky play there. We're going to bring out Derek Crane and Pegasus, summon out Dozer. Dozer's going to resolve to summon out Trencher. Now, unfortunately, we did already resolve River Stormer here. I'm not sure if I was playing Vespinato in the actual... Yeah, so I could have technically gone for Vespinato here and kind of sat on that, but I just didn't, I guess. I just go for River Stormer. And we're going to link now into Double-Headed Anger Knuckle, which I believe as it stands, if I would have linked off the River Stormer instead, or made just a different play and didn't overlay for River Stormer, I could have left the Derek Crane on the field and then used Knuckle to summon out another level 10 by ditching this and, you know, summoning it back out onto the field, I think. I could be wrong, though, because I don't think we would actually have a legal target engraved if we did that. So I think the way it actually played out is correct. Just very, very short of being able to get another rank 10 on board, which is exactly what we need at this point. Because, yeah, if we have Dozer, Trencher, and the Derek Crane with Pegasus, if we link off both of the level 5s for Knuckle... Yeah, we can't really get into a rank 10 anyways because this is in our hand, unfortunately, and this does target for cost. And if it's not in the graveyard on activation, we can't use it. So we're going to let it play out. I ditched the Citadel and bring back the Citadel, which was actually, I think, a misclick. Wanted to leave the Citadel in the graveyard because that's where it works best, but now it's just sitting out on my field. So that's just basically going to force this game to grind out a lot longer than it probably should. During his turn, I'm going to use Knuckle again to summon out Derek Crane to get level 10s on field and try to block as much damage as possible. He takes out 2 with Sword, and we're just left with Citadel. On my turn, start with the Knuckle, sending off the spin turn we drew for turn, and then we use the River Stormer engraved to send off Knuckle to summon back Stormer. Now we're going to use Trencher to banish itself to summon the Dozer. That's going to allow us to link into Goliath, and now we're going to attempt to go into battle phase here. And he's going to turn the Citadel to defense. I was kind of hoping we'd get to send that off to the grave. But an interesting thing that's going to happen here is we're going to be able to attach with Goliath now. And that's going to allow us to actually fire off River Stormer main phase 2. And I should have added Bullet Train here. Just another blunder, I guess. So I link into Goliath. That's going to proc Derek Crane. I'm able to go into number 81, detach Derek Crane. Finally clear this pesky Boral Sword that's been causing so much chaos. During his turn, he's going to pitch Roar, add back Fusion. We're going to chain number 81 to target itself. That's going to importantly get Citadel to the graveyard. We draw Bullet Train for turn. We're going to start by using this nice little Goliath River Stormer loop, and that's going to attach the Goliath here to the number 81 as opposed to the Stormer. This way, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects, so Titan will have 0 way to get rid of it, and we're going to detach go up to 6k and swing over that card, no problem. Main phase 2, go for Titan and use Knuckle to discard Bullet Train there in main phase 2 to get that end phase search of, I believe, Pegasus. So we have a very good follow-up for next turn. So starting to play a little bit better here on turn 8. Pass it over to him. He draws Allure of Darkness. You hate to see it. He's going to use Fusion Engrave. We chain to bring out the Citadel. I don't know why I kept doing that. I just didn't fully understand Citadel at this point because I think I was still new to playing it here back in November. And he's going to resolve shenanigans through Allure. Thunder Dragon for Thunder Dragon, summon out the Thunder Dragon Lord, and I'm just going to chain Zeus. I said, you've done too much at this point for me. He's going to summon out another Lord and mill a Roar, and that'll do it for his turn. On his turn, he activates the Lord and summons out Dark, but we just normal summon the Pegasus Stampede here. Bring back Derricrane, activate Stampede. Luckily, we're safe from Gamma. We go for Gengira Die, pop one, and use the... I didn't detach the Derricrane here, unfortunately. That was another maybe a little bit of a blunder. So we're going to pass it back to him. We're going to chain Lancia one more time. He's going to go for Titan, and he's going to end his turn. And we pick up Jizakiro for turn here, which is really, really good. So now we're going to use Gengira Die. Pop one. We miss out on a Derricrane, but we're going to burn for 1,000. Go up to 6k for exact game. And we finally close out that very, very ugly game. But please do excuse the misplays. I think this might have been from one of the first weeks that I started playing trains exclusively. So yeah, we had a lot of learning to do. This next replay here is up against a pretty meta-relevant matchup. As you can see, we're playing against Eldlich, but I believe it is Zoo Eldlich here. He's going to start with Pay 8, Feel Great, the Cursed Eld Land. He's going to set Torrential, Tribute, and Conk with double Nibiru and Lord in hand. Luckily for us, we do have Cosmic Cyclone in hand. We have Gamma, Tooth, Heavy Forward, Dozer, and Chalice. Feeling like a pretty solid hand. So we're going to start with the forward. Normal summon Harvester. That's going to pick up Trencher, which is great. We're going to use Dozer. Tribute off the Harvester. Summon out Anchor Drill, which I've actually started to play again. As I realized it is a pretty darn good extender in some situations. And that's going to allow us to just go into River Stormer here, detach the Trencher, send that Citadel to the graveyard. So at least bare minimum, we've got a little setup. We're not able to get another rank 10 here on the field. But getting Citadel to the graveyard as quick as possible is very, very beneficial because of its graveyard effect, which basically says if a face-up Earth machine monster or monster you control except itself is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, and that pairs with its other quick effect, which says you can target one machine monster you control, destroy that machine monster, and all monsters your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. So a nice little graveyard landmine, if you will. So we're going to swing in for 25. We're going to set some cards and use the effect of Heavy Forward in main phase 2 to attach it to Stormer. He's going to pay 8 here. We're going to chain Cyclone. We're saying, you know what, you're done paying 8. We're getting rid of that. He's going to go ahead and use Lord in hand to try to send off the set card. We chain the Chalice to boost our Stormer up to 29. And he's going to go ahead and use Conk or the Hakero Engrave to set Sanguine. And we're going to start our turn with the River Stormer to pick up Bullet Train. We're going to use Forward here for Tunneler, use the Trencher rather. My bad. We're going to search Tunneler, use Trencher Engrave to summon out Anchor Drill. And this is why Anchor Drill, I think, is a very, very good extender. Because when we revive out of the grave, we can summon one from hand. And we're going to summon out the Tunneler. And that is going to allow us to get into Double-Headed Anger Knuckle, discard the Gamma that we're not using to get another level 10 on field. As you can see, that would have paired very well with the Bullet Train we have in our hand, but he does have Torrential Tribute. But we're going to follow up with Tunneler's Broken Pot of Avarice effect. Draw 2. We find a copy of Tunneler. We're able to summon out the Derricrane. And you can see those rocks in his hand. They're getting ready to rumble. But he actually lets us get a number 81 on field, to my surprise. We're going to summon out the Dozer here and summon out Drill that we recycled back to our deck. We're actually out of level 5s here at this point. He goes ahead and uses Nibiru. We chain number 81, and he's just chaining everything now at this point. He's locked in only summoning zombies, so the Nibirus don't actually get to summon to the field, and he is able to clear off the number 81 before the effect is able to resolve. But we're able to still use Citadel Engrave because something on our field, an Earth Machine, was destroyed, so we get to summon this card back out. And we still deal 3k after all of that, after our opponent extended all of those resources. And we're going to add one back in the end phase off a Bullet Train. He picks up an IDP for turn, uses Scarlet to set the Conquistador, uses Lord to send it off to summon itself to the field. goes battle phase, hits over for 500, and that'll do it for his turn, except he's also going to use Conk. But we're going to chain Urgent Schedule here in the end phase, not counting towards our Nibiru summons on our next turn. And now this point, I know he still has Nibiru, so we got to try to play around it as best as we can. Go into the Knuckle, bring back the, of course, level 10 off of Knuckle, and go into the Gustav Max to try to secure a game here. But there's that IDP. Doesn't even need Nibiru. Banishes both of them. And, you know, we are denied game one more time. Here's the Zoodiac engine finally. Stepping all the way up into a broadbow with tons of materials. We use Knuckle to tag out into Bullet Train to make sure we're able to proc that end phase effect. There's a huge Zeus with tons of materials underneath it. End phase, we get back Flying Pegasus. Chalice return feels so good. Pretty much a blowout here. We're just going to be able to go one summon, two summons, change levels, go into another Gustav Max. Finally burn for that remaining 900 damage that we needed to do. So very, very grindy there. But we're able to take down one of the titans of the new formats, Eldlich Zoo, with trains in a very, very grindy game, if I do say so myself. So this replay, I think I did show off in my Mech Knight guide video, which if you haven't seen it yet, do feel free to check it out. It'll be annotated up in the top right, if I remember, or at the end of the video. I should have uploaded it yesterday from the time when this video was going up. But this was a really cool match, or game rather. As you can see, we're playing against Speedroids, which is a deck I love very much. He's playing a bit of a different build. I'm actually curious to see what his extra deck is looking like. Yeah, a lot of synchro, so no Xyz monsters whatsoever. Playing the very turbo rubber band shooter version, which is okay, but I feel like Totem Bird and Leviair add so much goodness to the deck. Activating Succession, bring back the Yo-Yo, and he's going to go ahead and, well, yeah, Succession for Yo-Yo, extra normal for Duke. He's going to modify the level here of Duke to a level 6. I don't know if this was a mistake or not. He goes for Hagoita, plays Recovery, brings back the Hagoita, makes a Crystal Wing, and then Hagoita comes out via its own effect here, but he can't go into another Crystal because this is a level 6. So he kind of, I don't know if that was a mistake there or not, but could have potentially ended on double Crystal. We try to fire off Dark Ruler. He's got Solemn Judgment. And now we're going to try to play with very, very little room to work here. He's going to negate our Purple Nightfall, which feels bad, but luckily Indigo can hit the field to create some room, summon out the green. Green can add back purple to our hand. We're going to get in for some damage. Importantly, not clearing the Hagoita and getting rid of the Duke instead is because he'll just be able to freely bring back the Hagoita next turn. He top decks Recovery, so it really doesn't make too big of a difference here. Now, he's going to get double Crystal Wing out now, which is what he could have potentially done turn 1. But he puts the Crystal Wing in the same column as Morningstar, so not messing around here, not wanting to lose to the Morningstar shenanigans. He's going to go ahead and use double Yo-Yo to bring back one from Grave. We do negate with the secrets here. And now he's going to go into the battle phase, I believe, after using Red-Eyed Die. And he's going to go ahead and modify its level to level 3, bring back Hagoita, and go into Shen here. And going to go and boost everything by 800. Now, I panic here a little bit. I'm not sure why I did this. When he activates Shen's effect to return one to the grave that's banished, I panic activated memory, which I did not need to. The only thing I should have done was chain Indigo to move Morningstar over here. And that way, if he would have tried to negate with this Crystal Wing, it would have been negated because, you know, Indigo wouldn't have resolved yet. And if he tried to negate with this Crystal Wing, I could have just chained memory to negate this one over here by summoning another purple from the deck or another Indigo, whatever it may be. And that way I just lose one Indigo, which technically I wouldn't even have to lose 2 of them. Well, I guess in this situation I will lose something just because of how many monsters he does have on his side of the field. Can't dodge all of them unless he attacks in a very weird order. But as you can see here, I bring out purple to negate the Shen. Now I go ahead and use Indigo here to move the Morningstar, and he does chain this Crystal Wing. Unfortunately, he activates the Crystal Wing that's in the same column as it. So Morningstar is able to move over. Morningstar is just going to protect everything here. I try to get out of the way with purple, and he's able to negate that with his other Crystal Wing, which I guess, you know, hindsight is kind of nice that he saved that negate for that, because stopping purple Nightfall is really, really good. Main phase 1 is going to roll around. We're going to activate key, get back purple. Purple's going to turn off this crystal here. We're going to get blue. Blue's going to basically be interrupted. If he tries to, do anything about it, we're just going to slide over here. And the other crystal wing can't say anything about it either. We're going to get Girsu. And now this is where we go from that control strategy to very, very aggro. We're going to go for Lib. Lib's going to grab Succession. Succession for World Armor. World Armor for Memory. Going for Avermax and getting in for the last remaining amount of damage we need to do, because remember, his life points were very low because of Solemn Judgment. So that is going to do it for this episode of Top Replays and Highlights. Here's my current Mech Knight list, current Speedroid list. Going to be doing a lot of testing with this actually later tonight, just on my own. Been fiending for some testing lately. And the current train list right here, Infinitrack trains. Again, I do apologize if the decks shown on this series lately have been a bit repetitive. It just is what it is. I've just been loving these decks, and I'm guilty as charged. So, but yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and do not forget, if you're able, pick up the new Winter Kills Imperium Duelist playmat. Again, it's available at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on their site, link below in the description, of course, as well as my discount code that you can use to get 10% off on your entire order of Winter Kills sent up. So, hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and consider becoming a member for early videos and exclusive members-only content. More information by clicking the join button. And yeah, as always, Winter Kills sent out. We'll see you guys in the next one. And of course, a huge shout out goes to our Divine level channel members here on YouTube, and they are Academic Thick, Zors, and Cadillacs84. Thank you guys so much for your continued and very generous support of the channel.